So I have had some requests on how to move to Vegas to play poker. I think the requests have been like the logistical side of things. You know, I don't really talk about poker strategy, but in a logistics sense, I've thought about it, and I'm going to tell everyone how I would do it now. It's based around three things. One is location, one is health insurance, and one is transportation. First, and this is specifically to Vegas, like you could move to not San Diego, you could move to St. Louis, and I'm pretty sure all three rooms over there, Lumiere, Ameristar, and Hollywood, still all have poker. They definitely did last time I was there. I don't know St. Louis so much, so I can't tell you like where to live or where to play or things like that. I know Vegas though. Location, I would look for an apartment very close to Sahara or Westgate. That does a few things. It's related to the other two big factors. One is transportation. I would do that, and I would avoid having a car. Get a bike and use the monorail. A local using the monorail, you need a local ID. Each ride is $1. For non-locals, I think it's up to $6 now. So you could walk to Sahara or the Westgate. You can take the monorail down to the heart of the strip. Yeah, you're not gonna easily be able to get to South Point or Red Rock, but whatever. From Golden Nugget all the way down to Mandalay, you have an easy way to get there. That's cutting out like somewhere between like $5,000 and $10,000 in the cost of having a car. Even if you owned a car already, even if you owned the item, the car, there's gas, and there's keeping up to date the registration, and there's oil changes, and there's a lot of things people don't think about, but they add up. I remember asking a friend once, like, how much does your car cost? And he told me, like, how much did your car cost last year or something? And he said, I own it. Like, when I bought it, like, I paid the full amount, I own it. Yeah, I knew that. I meant, like, the oil changes and all the driving, how much gas he needs to put into it, and the state inspection and everything else like that. And I think a lot of those things he was like unaware of. He knew he had to pay for those things. It was up to date, but like it's not something he like keeps track of. So there's a lot of costs for having a car. I would have a bike, one-time purchase, occasional maintenance on a bike, and I don't know, it's not like you're going down to the heart of the strip every single day. Probably with the occasional maintenance on the bike and all the monorail trips, I think it would be under $500 for the year, your transportation costs, as opposed to leasing a car, paying the payments, and paying for all the maintenance and all the ongoing costs. That could be like, yeah, around like $7,000, $8,000. So I would live close to the monorail stops for that reason. Second thing is I would work at UPS. There are two locations in Vegas. One of them is on North Martin Luther King Boulevard. UPS, I've worked at 4 different facilities. They are very, very good when it comes to union and benefits. A permanent part-time employee. So there are full-time employees, the drivers that go through your neighborhood, the people, you know, who work in the front office, who wear the suits and ties. There are permanent part-time employees, the people who load the trucks. It's not many hours, it's about 20-25 a week. I worked the sunrise shift at a few locations. It was roughly 4 a.m. to 9 a.m., 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. Your first year, you're protected by the union. You're like, it's not like you're not a part of the group that the union is protecting. You're not getting benefits yet. Once 1 full year is done, even for a permanent part-time employee who's only working around 20 hours per week, you have the health benefits of the full-time employees. Not only is it offered to you, and you can get it, it's good for your children also. There are single moms who had that job for the health insurance more than anything. Also, there's no premium, at least last time I was there, and that's a good union. I don't think they've changed and made the employees paying a premium. I don't think they've changed their ways and are letting the employees pay a premium for the health insurance. It's covered. Like when I worked in IT, of course, through the job, we were offered health insurance, but we still had to pay a premium each month. Like my check for the month, instead of $5,000, it was like $4,800 or something, because 200 of it, something like that, went to the insurance premium. UPS, no, you get it. It's for your children also, and there's no premium to pay. Yeah, I don't know what it's like when you have to use it, the deductible, the co-insurance, the copay, things like that, but there's no premium. So those two things, living in that area near Sahara Westgate, also near that UPS facility, it accomplishes two things. You forego transportation costs by walking, biking, using the monorail, and instead of like maybe $10,000 for your car, your transportation costs are about $500 for the year. Also, yeah, UPS is going to take up some time, but it's only about 20 hours a week, and after you've been there a year, you don't have any health insurance to worry about or to pay. If you didn't do that and were looking for a plan on the private marketplace, man, nowadays it would probably cost you like $6,000 a year in premiums. So live near Sahara /UPS/Westgate, and you're avoiding about $6,000 in health insurance premiums, and you're avoiding up to 10 grand in transportation costs. Now, you don't have all day, every day to play poker, but you could still get, you know, between 1,000 and 1,800 hours in of poker. And for a single person, which is what I assume the people asking me about this are, for a single person living in an apartment, a one-bedroom apartment near Sahara, I went on apartments.com, I looked. I think I found a floor plan that was one bedroom for about $1,050 or $1,100, add in utilities, and it's probably like $1,275 a month or so. Like, there's not a ton left. Like I said, no health insurance premiums, no transportation cost, or minimal, $500 for the year with the bike maintenance and the monorail. And like, what else is there? There's some food. A lot of it's going to be comped. You're playing 1,000 to like 1,800 hours of poker. A lot of it's going to be free at the casino. Yeah, any hobbies. I'm not going to tell you what your hobbies could be. You know what they are better than I do. But like necessities. I just covered like food and rent and utilities and health insurance and transportation, and the total's not that much. It's like $1,275 rent and utilities, $200 for food, no problem with all the comps you're going to get. So that's $1,475, whatever that is, multiplied by 12. It's at the bottom of the screen. And then add in, so that's for the year, rent, utilities, food for the year, add in $500 for the monorail, mostly. And there's not much else. There's like, yeah, you're gonna have to buy like a bottle of detergent for your laundry every once in a while. You're gonna have to buy like a bottle of shampoo. Even when some of your meals are comped at the casino, you're gonna leave a tip at the buffet. Like, but it's not much else. Those are like the only real like big chunks of your expenses. So I would look for an apartment building very close to Sahara, move in there, have a bike, not a car, use the monorail, work at UPS, don't worry about health insurance, and don't have to pay for it either. What you make in UPS working 20 hours a week is probably going to cover it. So think of UPS as just covering your bills and your health insurance, and it's only 20 hours a week, and all of your poker is extra. Some of it goes to taxes. I didn't talk about taxes yet. And the rest of it is just like all the extra, all the money you could put aside at the end of the year into the stock market or any other venture you want for your future. So I think that's a great deal. If you really wanted playing poker to be your absolutely only income, then I would still live in that area near Westgate Sahara in order to not have a car, keep your transportation costs very low, and instead of working at UPS and having health insurance, the trade is, well, you don't have health insurance, so you could do any of those options I said in my health insurance series, but you have a lot more time to play poker, so you get way more than like 1,000 to 1,800 hours of poker. Absolutely nothing else on your plate. Yeah, somewhere between like 2,000, 3,000 hours of poker for the year. So use those extra hours, that extra money you get, to possibly pay for a private marketplace health insurance plan, and yeah, you'll definitely bring in more. That's the trade. No UPS, no time spent at UPS, but no health insurance from UPS, no pay from UPS, but your poker hours are going to be much more, which leads to much more money, much more income from poker. So that's what I would do. Big advocate of not having a car. I already have one. This wasn't my lifestyle when I bought the car about a decade ago. But if I were suggesting for someone to start right now, that's what I would do. The location is the most important thing, and I would do it for those other auxiliary reasons.